Hey guys, and now we will be discussing the estimation of doubtful accounts. So in the estimation of doubtful accounts, so since this is estimation of doubtful accounts, this is precisely ito yung sa allowance method. So this means that this will not apply in the direct write-off method kasi sa allowance method lang tayo nag-estimate. Okay? So as you can see in the previous problem na meron tayo dyan estimation. Okay? So debit, doubtful accounts expense, credit, allowance for doubtful accounts. Ganun yung entry natin. Now, anong magiging dating yan? So magiging dating yan is ano ang implication yan dito sa dinidiscuss natin? Pag ganyan ang dinidiscuss natin, dinidiscuss lang natin dito kung paano ka nag-come up sa amount nung expense. Okay? So, of course, our entry is doubtful accounts expense. Okay? So, our entry is doubtful accounts expense and then credit allowance for doubtful accounts. Now, the question here is, magkano to? Okay? So, that is the question. So, this is answered in the estimation of doubtful accounts. So, in this session, we'll be discussing how will you estimate the doubtful accounts. So, we have two approaches in the allowance method. So, number one is the income statement approach. Number two is the balance sheet approach. Okay? So, when we say income statement approach, we derive the estimate of doubtful accounts through the usage of percentage of sales. So, ibig sabihin, kasi dito sa estimation ng doubtful accounts, this is estimated using a rate. Okay? Percentage. Okay? So, gagamit ka ng percentage. So, pwedeng 2%, pwedeng 5%, pwedeng 10%. So, depende na yan sa company kung ilang percent. Okay? Now, the idea, paano ko madedetermine na income statement approach yan? Kung sabi sa problem, na you estimate the doubtful accounts by multiplying as percentage of your pwedeng credit sales, pwedeng net sales. Basta ang idea niyan, isang income statement account yung ginagamit. Okay? And pag nakuha nyo to, okay, sa percentage of sales, pag minultiply nyo yung percentage dun sa sales, ang makukuha nyo dyan is yung current provision. Okay? So, kung baga, sa T account, okay, ito yung sa doubtful accounts, sa allowance for doubtful accounts, yung current, we have beginning, we have write-off, we have recovery, and then we have doubtful accounts expense. Pag sinabi mong current provision, ito yon. Okay, yung doubtful accounts expense. Okay? Now, so, ibig sabihin, ang tatanungin dyan is, pag tinanong sa inyo, how much is the current provision, yun na yun. Okay? And by the way, etong current provision na to, ito yung ginagawa natin ng entry na doubtful accounts expense, allowance for doubtful accounts. Okay? Yung amount na yan. Now, what about balance sheet approach? When we say balance sheet approach, we use a balance sheet item, doon natin i-multiply yung percentage. So, in this case, we multiply it in the accounts receivable. So, we have two options. We have number one, percentage of ending receivable. So, ibig sabihin, i-multiply mo lang sa percentage. So, kung magkano man yung percentage na yan, i-multiply mo sa AR ending. Okay? So, pwedeng ganon. Or pwedeng yung tinatawag nating aging. Okay? However, in both cases naman kasi, whether percentage of ending receivable yan or aging of receivable, okay? In the end, ang makukuha mong amount dyan will be your allowance for doubtful accounts ending. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, kung ito ang T account mo, allowance for doubtful accounts, beginning, write-off, recovery, doubtful accounts expense, and then ending. Okay? Ibig sabihin nito, kung ano man ang makuha mo, tas balance sheet approach, and by the way, malalaman mo yan kasi indicate sa problem, the doubtful accounts is estimated as percentage of receivable or aging of receivable. In both cases, pag minultiply mo yung percentage dun sa receivable, yung makukuha mo pa lang dyan ay yung ending. Okay? So, to summarize, if it's income statement approach, you will determine that because the problem will say the percentage is multiplied in a sales. So, pwedeng credit sales, net credit sales. So, kung ano man makuha mo dyan, yun ay yung current provision pa lang. Ito pa lang. So, yun yung gagawan mo ng entry. Okay? Sa estimate. Okay? Sa estimation, ito yon. Whereas, pag balance sheet approach, ang makukuha mo dyan ay yung ending allowance for doubtful accounts. So, this would mean na ang kailangan ko is yung adjustment kasi ito yung ginagawan ko ng entry. Anong gagawin mo? Kailangan mong mag-work back para ma-compute yon. Okay? Now, as an example, we will discuss that when we have a problem for this. Okay? Now, to further discuss, so, ito, self-explanatory, you just multiply the percentage to AR ending. So, when we say aging of receivable, let's say, for example, you have 1,000 na receivable. At sabihin na natin yung 300 dyan, 30 days na palang hindi nababayaran. Sabihin na natin yung 400 dyan, is 60 days nang hindi nababayaran. And then yung another 300, sabihin na natin 90 days nang hindi nababayaran. So, bakit siya tinatawag na aging? Kasi, binibilang mo kung gaano na siya katagal na hindi nababayaran. And of course, pag mas matagal na hindi nababayaran, mas mataas ang chance na hindi mo na siya makokolekta. So, ibig sabihin, iba-iba sila ng percentage. Okay, so for example, dahil ito ay 300, di pa na 30 days pa lang due 1% lang. Pwede dito 2%, dito 5%. So depende. Okay? So ibig sabihin niyan 300 times 1%, so this is 3. Ito ay 8, ito ay 15. So ibig sabihin 3 plus 8 plus 15, this is 11, 26. So, ibig sabihin nito, ito ay magiging dito siya. Okay? Paano naman, sir, kung etong example na to, i-convert natin sa AR ending. Ibig sabihin yan, may single percentage ka lang. Pero i-multiply mo na din sabihin na natin, ang total percentage mo, 4%. Edi 1,000 times 4%, 40. Ito na yung, okay, gagamitin mong ending. So, again, sasabihin sa problem. Now, to make sense of that, bakit kaya sa income statement approach, pag multiply mo sa percentage of sales, provision pa lang. Whereas, pag balance sheet approach, pag multiply mo yung percentage sa AR, yun yung ending allowance for doubtful accounts. Okay? So, this will be the explanation. So, as discussed, okay? So, so how do we define allowance for doubtful accounts? So, ang allowance for doubtful accounts, okay? So, ang allowance for doubtful accounts, ito daw yung percentage of receivable na hindi mo na uncollectible. Okay? So, following that scenario, ibig sabihin yan, ang allowance for doubtful accounts mo daw, ito ay percentage ng receivable na hindi mo na makokolekta. Therefore, ibig sabihin, pag yung AR ko, minultiply ko dun sa percentage, yun daw yung allowance for doubtful accounts. Kasi susundan lang natin yung definition na yung allowance for doubtful accounts daw, ito yung percentage ng accounts receivable na hindi na makokolekta. Okay? Now, so, dyan tayo mag-aano. Now, so, paano dito pumasok yung ending tsaka beginning? Now, of course, sa real accounts or yung mga balance sheet accounts, ang ending last period will be the beginning this year. Okay? So, ang katapusan ng, for example, ang katapusan ng 2020, that is the beginning of, tawag dito, of 2021. So, ibig sabihin, kung ito ay allowance for, if this is the 2020, therefore, pagdating ng 2021, kung ito, sabihin na natin ito ay ending ng 2021, ng 2020, pagdating ng 2021, itong AR na to, okay, beginning times percentage, yun yung allowance for doubtful accounts na beginning. Okay? Kasi sabi nga natin, ang ending ng previous year, magiging beginning ng this year. So, ganun siya. Okay? Now, ano ba yung nakakadagdag sa tawag dito sa sales. Okay, 'di ba ang nakakadagdag diyan sa accounts receivable, 'di ba ang nakakadagdag diyan credit sales. So, wag muna nating isipin na may collection, pero ang idea niyan, AR plus credit sales, makukuha mo yung AR ending. Okay? Now, so, ibig sabihin, kung ito yung ending percentage, ang makukuha ko dito ay allowance for doubtful accounts ending ng 2021. Now, ano ba ang nakakadagdag sa tawag dito sa allowance for doubtful accounts para makuha yung ending? 'Di ba? Doubtful accounts expense. Therefore, following this concept, ibig pala sabihin, sir, pag minultiply yung credit sales sa percentage, yun pa lang yung doubtful accounts expense. So, ayun yung scenario niya. So, kaya sa income statement approach, pag minultiply mo yung percentage dun sa credit sales, yun ay doubtful accounts expense. Whereas, pag balance sheet approach, pag minultiply mo sa AR, yung percentage, allowance for doubtful accounts pa lang yan. Okay? So, para magkaroon ng clarity, we will answer some problems in the book, in the following videos.